Welcome back, channel viewer. It's Let's Play Lennus 2. It's the final video. I hope you've enjoyed the LP. I hope you enjoyed the ludicrously long video that I made of the ending, where I went around and talked to everyone. Ferris got to make out with lots of girls, dress everyone down, and tell everyone what he really thinks. But now it's time for us to leave. Ferris, Nydia, and Ray Chesney, the real and true Avatar, are also leaving to return to the world of Riga. We will return to wherever it is we return to at the end of an LP. I hope it's been a fun ride for you guys. Let's kick back and enjoy the credits. So, Ferris, are you finished? Have you made up your mind? Yes. Super! Then let's go. No, I made up my mind not to. Oh, Nydia, Payas, Ferris, let us travel together to the great planet Riga. Payas is like, wait, I'm going? Oh, so now you have a party of 4 members again. That's right, because Nydia and Ray Chesney, the Avatar, traveled off in their super spaceship at the end of their adventure. And now the credits. Now all the credit in the world goes to the folks who translated this game into English and allowed me and others to enjoy it. And when I say me and others, it's not like lots of Japanese people couldn't enjoy this before, or people who've learned Japanese. But I think they deserve a lot of credit for bringing this game, despite all of the I said some negative things about some of the translations, like, oh, you guys are being too goofy or whatever. But no, they deserve a lot of credit. That being said, I hope they don't give themselves more credit, time, and graphics than the actual people who actually made the game. Which, when all is said and done, is more work than translating a game, I would think. But the people who translated it, though, mad ups. Good job. Thank you very much. But to the people who made the game, like Vampire M, and, well, these people are actually using real names, it looks like. So now let's just enjoy the moments. This is... I don't remember what that moment was. I think at this point we're still on Andal. Yep, getting the 4 magical MacGuffins to create the Great Union, which at the time we seemed to think was a good idea, but we later found out not so much. Alright, this is our first boss fight. This is going to be a long video too, if we already saw a view of him, like, when we just walked up to him. We're gonna... There's Ferris with his original gangster crew, who were the, 5 dudes who decided to want to hang out with him. 3 dudes and 2 dudettes, actually. Oh, Shinji. Where have you gone to? Echigoya, where are you hiding? Might throw that one out there for Boba the Vulture. It's been mentioned before, but I would definitely enjoy watching an LP of oh, now I'm blanking on the name. Kagero Stealth Assassin, I think it's called. Anyway, there's Potentate Petro's face being like, "Hey Ben, you'd never guess I was Ray Chesney the Avatar, considering I look nothing like him." There was never really any explanation for why his look changed so much, but other than the fact that they didn't want it to be too obvious that he was Ray Chesney the Avatar. If you're wondering why I'm calling him Ray Chesney the Avatar, you need to go back and watch my LP of Paladin's Quest. You need to. I demand it. Tikoi. This was a good game. I enjoyed this game. I broke down and admitted during some of the videos near the end stretch that I'd been LPing this for so long. The LP got broken up in the middle for a big chunk of time, and that it was kind of wearing on me. I was sort of losing some of my interest, but needed to finish anyway. And, of course, I mentioned that, the response to this hadn't been that strong, and it was kind of weighing on me a little bit. But, yeah, I think in the end, I gotta admit, this is a really good game, with really freaky, weird-looking giant characters. But I had heard people saying that it was like 1,000,000 times better than Paladin's Quest and was really the best thing ever. And I don't think that's accurate or fair to Paladin's Quest. Paladin's Quest is a really good game. This was, I think, a solid sequel. I don't think this was better than Paladin's Quest. And you know, I don't think you can reasonably say that this is in the same league as... There are people who absolutely hate it, mostly because they're sick of hearing how good it is, I would think. But no, I don't think this is on quite on the same caliber as Final Fantasy VI, but it was still an excellent game. I wish there was a Lennus 3. I would love to see these guys produce... Oh, here we go. Now it's getting weird. We have the snake chick who's like, Ferris, you're stupid and ugly, and I bet you've got a tiny little ding-dong. Like a little floppy noodle. And Ferris is like, lady, are you going to fight me? Or please stop talking about my ding-dong. Anyway, and Ferris was not feeling that hot at this point anyway, because this is right after he'd basically realized he had destroyed Andal. So he wasn't in a great place. And then he was cursed and like turning everyone he talked to into stone. That was an interesting little piece of story, I gotta admit. Nothing like that happened in Final Fantasy VI. There was a brief period where Ferris was just... had to be the most wretched... had the most wretched feeling hero ever. I mean, what's her name from Final Fantasy VI tried to commit suicide by jumping off a cliff, but Ferris had a lot more reason to, really. And he was just in a bad place right at that point. Then Potentate Petro showed up and says, hey man, come on, pull your shit together. I'm Ray Chesney the Avatar. Gotta try to live up to me, little man. And while you probably can't succeed, you gotta at least be less of a pansy than this. Oh, there's Jubilearly. Oh, poor Jubilearly. Assuming that is Jubilearly. There's a guy who looked exactly like him in a house who kept asking, do you think my house is small? Do you think my house is filthy? Do you think I smell bad? Do you think I'm a bad person? I never figured out what you were supposed to do there that made that, like, make sense or be worthwhile, or... I don't know, it just seemed like a guy who just kept looking for excuses to get pissed at you. Here we are, riding around in the mines of Moria, looking for the, Balrog. Ferris looks happy there. He's like, hee hee, I'm riding in a mine car, yay, Temple of Doom! And Gilray Zork, the Grand Inquisitor. Shun magic, shun the appearance of magic, shun everything and then shunning. Zork, Grand Inquisitor, folks. And here you are at a place that I don't remember. It's weird, but nothing in this game touched me quite as much as the little subplot in Paladin's Quest about the woman who bakes bread and then dies. It was strange, but I was kind of like, I was really sad about that. And now we are well and truly into our Lennus 2 medley. The Lennus 2 overture here. I liked this music. Overall, though, I thought the music in Paladin's Quest was actually a little bit better. But they're both very good. Oh, this is like spiffy theme version of the theme. Here you are waiting for that stupid bread. Man, Abel didn't die tragically. Maybe I would have liked Abel better if he died tragically. Like the way that I really loved Spock because of the way he died, and if he hadn't died, if he'd continued to live, he would have been a horrible character. Remember. Hey, it's the enemy who looked like he had a purple erection. Who just happens to be blocking your way to... Although these monsters really were not part of any plot to protect those things, they did tend to be standing in the path that you needed to go through to get to a, what do you call it, I forget what they were called now. Oh, I don't remember having them in my party when I fought this guy. So it does not seem to track who your party members are. It just gives you party members who would be appropriate at that point in the game. I like this music too. Some of you are possibly trying to enjoy the music without me. Oh, and there's his marriage to the beautiful, doesn't really matter who, because they always look exactly like that in this scene. I wonder if it still shows this if you didn't help him get married at all. I think he does get married, though, to his maid, so... Once again, we've got, like, the spiffed up extra version of this song. Hey, we are the White Cross cult. We just live only to serve you, Ferris. Please pay us money to stay at our inn. Still not as lame as the Black Cross cult. Like, they really... I don't know, maybe I was reading too much into it. It seemed like the Black Cross cult were going to be a big opposition to you, and then it just kind of... Well, here they are, in all their glory, the Black Cross cult members. Man, at this point, we haven't even gotten out the handle. Credits must be going on for a while. Marketing staff. Didn't really have an American representative. Yeah, I guess Lennus, or Paladin's Quest, probably didn't make a ton of money in America. It's remembered, if at all, as being this... It's remembered for being obscure, for being a really good but obscure game. I remember Googling it once and finding somebody's webpage where they talked about it. It didn't give you a ton of detail on the game, but mostly talked about how they'd met one of their best friends. One of the things that caused them to get to talking and becoming friends was the fact that they'd both played Paladin's Quest, and that they thought that was so bizarre, because neither of them had ever really met anybody before who'd played Paladin's Quest. So yeah, good game. Running out of things to say right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the standards of my LPs, goofy voices, whatever. I just, I don't know. There's something about Breath of Fire games that had really drawn out for me, having fun assigning goofy voices to different characters, because those games have the characters having dialogue. This game, rarely, and when it did happen, it just kind of felt odd. Yay, so we did apparently get the, in this playthrough that they used for the credits, somebody did get the secret hidden mercenary, Polak. I guess he was just a monster after all. Well, and there's those 4 guys who may or may not have been the villains we fought later on. In a traditional Japanese desecration of the Christ myth. I mean, desecration so much as the fact that they're just like... The American missionaries came to Japan and told the story of Jesus, and the Japanese takeaway was, wow, nailing somebody to a cross of wood, that's a pretty cool way to kill somebody. So they just kind of started doing that to people who, you know, were just regular criminals. And while that's how the Romans had done it back in the day, in a Western society it became the sacred symbol, whereas the Japanese just like, hey, that's kind of a neat thing to do to somebody you don't like. Nail them up to a piece of wood. Boom, big fire explosion. I remember I saw the Gotcha Man OAV, and like near the end at one point, the heroes were sort of crucified on these like laser crosses, and they escaped and one saved the day. But I was like, yeah, you know, whoever thought that was a good idea really didn't want to market this thing in the States, did they? Yeah, that's right, we were at the top of that tower, which kind of vaguely looked like a dragon's head would have in previous games, like a dragon with dreadlocks, see? There's the nose, closed eyes, dreadlocks. It's like Nathan Spencer's dragon form. In association with ImageWorks. Is credits gonna end before we get to Lennus? Alright, folks. Here I am in my bubble, the boy in the plastic bubble. In association with Oscar. Mint. I know like a mint. What are the flavors you got? I'm Fred Goofy Villain. Yeah, the chunks of game that we're seeing, Fill-In Cafe, the chunks of game that we're actually seeing in the credits are kind of getting fewer and farther between now. At the beginning it was like, we're going to show you every little thing, and now it's like, yeah, skip a couple of major bosses and just, Well, I say that, and then we get this guy twice. Babe, look at that, we got Super Robo Warrior here hanging out with us. Mabel Soft. To soften your Mabel. I'm still expecting another form of Granada to attack during the credits. I mean, that boss battle was not that much. Ginga no Robo Kakaku since 1991. And as I already said, in association with Oscar. Hey, I'm your dad. I've got a nice chapeau. Test players. YMC and the Pleasant Fellows. I'm wondering if these credits are like made by the translator guys. Like at some point that when I wasn't paying attention, did the credits stop being for the Japanese people who made the game? I don't know. Presented by Asmic. Seriously, good job, good game. GG. There's the GG. This StarCraft game is over. The end. Question mark, question mark. Now I'll always wonder. But yeah, folks, all kidding aside, that was Let's Play Paladin's Quest. Sorry, Let's Play Lennus 2, the sequel to Paladin's Quest. The odds that there will be a sequel to this, a Paladin's Quest 3, so to speak, I think we've got probably a better chance of seeing a StarCraft. Oh no, not StarCraft. I mean, Starflight sequel. A Zack McCracken sequel is probably more likely than another Lennus game. Sadly, not that I wouldn't mind playing another Zack McCracken game. I mean, Leather Goddesses of Phobos is more likely to get another sequel than this one. That one actually got a second game, which surprised a lot of people, and the sales for that game ensured that the third game became pretty much impossible. Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing another game in the Lennus series, so I hope you guys weren't too invested in seeing what was going to happen to Ray Chesney the Avatar, Sweet Nydia, and Sir Ferris the actor Raigan when they reached the planet of Raiga, because that is the great mystery. I mean, they solved a lot of the mysteries in a way of Paladin's Quest. Some of the stuff that was kind of like unanswered got answered a little bit in this game, I suppose. They didn't really explain that much. It was pretty much just adding more to the mystery. But yeah, I mean, we know for sure now that Nydia and Ray Chesney and the Avatar were actually born on Raiga. This game made it relatively clear that they actually descended to the planet Lennus from Raiga at some point, which I guess the first game applied also. But this game told us a little bit more about it. Gabnid was apparently a big freaking deal on Raiga too. Like, not this planet engineering genius dude was not like just a typical technician, you know, making a decent wage but not a huge thing on Raiga. Like, it was not a race of planet builders. Apparently he was a big deal, and because his immortal powers split up into different entities and whatever. But and the planet Raiga apparently plays host to insect women with whips, fat bunny rabbit guys, and those other two guys. So Raiga seems like it would be kind of a weird and out there place, but I think they've now built it up too much to ever do it justice in a game. Kind of like how, you know, if anybody is a fan of the original classic Doctor Who, will have noted that while it seemed like a really exciting and big deal to find out, because it was only at the end of the second Doctor's run we found out what the name of his planet was and where he actually came from a little bit, but all subsequent visits to that planet were basically really boring. And in the new series, I think they intentionally did away with it because it was just kind of an interest sucker. And I think the planet Raiga is kind of an interesting place, probably best left to our imagination, something that the game world should not explore. But hey, if you're thinking about making a sequel to this game, unofficially a fan sequel, go for it, man. Why not? Jump right into that. Yeah, send it to me. I might give it an LP if it seems like it's pretty cool. But I think there's a pretty strong chance this is going to be it for the world of Lennus. The world of I forget the name of the other world. Start with an E. Crap. But Lennus and Eltz. That's what it was. Eltz, the underground world, and Raiga. We turn a page. We say goodbye, because now Nydia, Ray Chesney the Avatar, and Ferris have come to a magical place, and there we leave them. Hope you enjoyed the LP, folks. Hope you didn't mind me whining too much about how it wasn't getting a ton of attention. Hope that people will come back and watch it now after it's done and enjoy it the way that Paladin's Quest has actually been a pretty popular LP for me, because it was a game that people remembered fondly. And I will now have fond memories of Lennus 2 going forward. That's it for this game, folks. See you next time. Check out my future LPs. The plan right now is to do Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals next, but who knows? Maybe somebody can talk me into doing something else. We'll see. Thanks for watching, folks. Channel viewers, I bid you good night, or good day, whatever it happens to be where you're at. Bye-bye.